Woke up feeling lost again. I need some oxygen right now. I can't feel no more.
How are we doing, Griffin?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
This is the third of our Music Summer 2021 interviews with Griffin Brown. So, to start out, how did you decide on music as the place to put your creative energy towards? Where did that all start?
Okay, so early on high school, probably like end of middle school, so like 5 or 6 years ago. No, more than that, like 7 years ago. Me and my friend Braden Burke, he still makes music now, but we just had a crazy idea one day to get a microphone and just make a song, and the joke of that turned into something serious, like a passion, and ever since I've just been making music.
So it started with your own vocals, or did you start more working with the actual music itself?
No, vocals for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't have any knowledge of
right
anything. We were just like, let's put a voice on this beat and let's get famous.
YouTube beats?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just,
Yep. So that was 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How has that, I mean, obviously it wasn't the most serious thing ever when you started out, but how has your music changed over time? What's changed about it?
Everything.
That's a good answer.
But probably like the main thing is just the seriousness about it. Like it started as a joke. Let's just make a song for fun, and just getting more serious, more time and energy put into it. Everything. Yeah. Just.
Would you say you do it more for yourself, more for taking the ideas that you have and putting them into a medium, or do you do it also so that the people that experience your music get something out of it?
Both, for sure.
Both.
I'd be lying if I said it was just for myself. You
right.
know, like it's a great way to express myself. But once like you get it, like people start listening to your music and people stop you random places, like, I like your new song, like, I don't know who you are, but thanks. Like,
yeah, there's something about that.
It feels really good, yeah. So
yeah. What do you hope people get out of your music?
Like, when I listen to music, I just like the feeling, like, I'm not like I don't think too deep about it, like, take it as you will, but like, I just like feeling music,
Yes. So less about the message, maybe.
It's more just like all around sound, just how it makes you feel. I want it to make them feel good. I want to make them feel whatever emotion that my song might be like.
Yeah. So do you start? Tell us about your creative process. Do you start like with an emotion that you want to get, and then you sort of build the music on top of that?
Right. I honestly just have like creative moments. Like, I'm not creative one day or for a month, and then the next 2 days I'll be creative, and then it'll go away. So it's weird. It's been weird recently. Like, I haven't really been creating as much as I'd like. Doing a lot of engineering, working. When I am creative, it could start many ways. Either like I'll have a beat somebody sent me, I'll make my own. Maybe I'll start with lyrics, or I have like a piano loop in my head that I like, or just like a melody in general. And off of that, it just grows until I'm at that point where I'm like, I think this is done.
How do you know where that point is? Because that's a big problem. Henry and I were talking about.
You just know.
Re-recording over and over and over and over again to get the right take.
As somebody who like has recorded themselves for so long, I've realized that when you record yourself and you don't have to spend money on studio time, you don't have like a time crunch, you're just creating. You gotta come to a point where you're like, this is done. The next song, that will be better, Every song you make after that will be better, as long as you're doing that. Let's say you go to a studio like RoundTable or whatever, or just any studio, and you're paying for the time, you're going to be way more...
That's true.
Way more lenient with way less, way more forgiving. Yeah, way more forgiving. They're going to be like, okay, that sounds good. Like, for a listener, they're not going to hear the small, the small thing that you hear that you want to re-record. There's just got to be a time and a place that you're like, okay, this is good. It's ready to be released.
Yep. So you mentioned RoundTable. Tell us about it. Tell us about what it means to you, how you got involved, what they've taught you.
For sure. I'll start with how I got involved. After high school, I took a gap year.
Okay.
Focused on some personal things, and I was making music, and I kind of just didn't like the pressure that I had, dealing with some personal things and the pressure of making music, and I wasn't really creative. It was just a lot on my shoulders. I didn't feel like I had it in me, but I loved music, and I knew that's what I wanted to do ever since I started. So I mean, I didn't really want to go to college for it, so I was looking for programs that I could take to be an audio engineer, like how to start my career in the music business on the backside. And so I started a program online. It was a online and hands-on program. So you do the lessons and do the work during the week, and then you have a bunch of in-person hands-on learning. And that was at the start of COVID, so I kind of messed up my experience. Didn't really get the bang for my buck, So after that, I was I felt like I was at the same point as before, I want to start, because that to me, I didn't learn a whole lot, So
yeah.
After that, I was just scrolling through Instagram one day, like any other day, and I see on my suggested posts or For You page or whatever, a studio RoundTable recording, and it was in their days before their grand opening, so
I see.
They weren't quite open to the public yet, and keep in mind this is still during COVID, so
Right.
But one day I just went and knocked on the front door of the studio and asked for a tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and co-owner Tim was there. Tim Walker, great guy. He was there, showed me around, told me everything about it. We kind of chatted for a while. I told him about my story. What I had just gone through, kind of got ripped off by this other program.
Right.
And he informed me that they had a program of their own. And so I was on board immediately after walking in those doors, man. That studio is
awesome.
it's just magic. So
that's the cool story. Knocked on the front door.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, man, I love your studio. Do you have time for a tour?
Right.
Just, but yeah, I got enrolled with them, finished their program, learned a lot, met a lot of people, and then since then I've just been, working out of there.
Who are some of those people that you've met that have been your favorites?
Tim Walker and Travis Moore. They're co-owners. Great guys. Tim is more of the business guy with a background in music and business, and then Travis has been an audio engineer for years.
Kind of a mentor.
Yeah, both of them mentors for sure. And then chief engineer Corey Miller. He's the man. I've learned a lot from him, and just the lessons there were with different people each week, or you'd always be learning something new with somebody new. Yeah. So it was really cool, and I don't know, it was a really good experience. Awesome. I'd recommend it.
What about some artists that you've worked with? How's that influenced your style and how you've grown?
Right. Without other artists to work besides and with, it would be weird. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have progressed the way I have.
Yeah.
Let's say Blake Whitehead, Robbie Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
When I started working with him, we were in two different genres, completely. Both hip hoppy rap, but he was lyricist, and I was just melodic, or auto tune.
What you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
How music makes you feel.
And after we worked together, I saw his process. I saw what he liked, and from I enjoyed his music, so we kind of bounced off each other, and that definitely steered me in a slightly different direction I was in. And every time I feel like I work with a new artist, it kind of steers me into a more defined direction, which is cool, and I don't
Keeps
know.
you versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's awesome. So at Habitat Sartorial, obviously, we're all about helping people in Indianapolis in the 317.
Mhm.
What does this place mean to you?
I mean, this is home, like it's no Chicago, it's no LA, it's no New York. We're definitely a smaller city. I have hope for the
Right,
317. It's just we're in a weird place. I don't know what it would take to make Indianapolis more of a artist friendly city. Um, Everybody asks that. Every indie artist asks themselves that.
I was talking with Henry about how there isn't really a blueprint for indie. Like if you're from LA, you're sort of expected to make a certain type of music, and we talked about that as a strength. Do you think that's a strength of Indianapolis, especially since you've worked with a lot of artists from the area?
See, I can agree with that, but I can disagree. Like LA is. I don't necessarily think you have to make it like you don't have to like be in a box to make a certain type of music. It's just so accepting there. People are weird. People are
I see what you're saying.
they come there. There's open arms everywhere. People are just trying to help each other, and I feel like here, like, not that people aren't trying to help each other. It's just like we're so focused on trying to make it out that we don't like embrace each other to help everybody else make it out.
So what would you want to see change? What's your ideal vision for indie?
I mean, I think indie definitely needs more open arms, like people need to be supporting each other like crazy.
Less focused on making it out to a bigger market and more focused on building the market that we have
exactly.
here.
Like, so many people, so many talented people. I mean, like, who knows if they wouldn't have left, if they would have made it,
Right.
like, so it's hard to say like with that, but I think we need to build it here. We need to suffer so other people can win. We need to suffer now, not suffer, but
I understand what you're saying.
yeah. Go through it now so we can have something later.
Build it now so that the foundation and the support is there for the artists.
And as a city, we just need to expand. Like we need to think better, be together. Be more supportive and be more positive.
More stuff like this.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Awesome. So what's up next for you? What message do you have for your fans or the people waiting to see what you got next?
All you gotta say is be patient. We'll come out with something soon. Working with a few artists right now.
Do you think it'll take more of a you working with other people direction? Do you think your original music will involve a lot of features, or are you working on some kind of project that you don't have to reveal more than you want?
I'm just having fun, I'm just having fun. I'm working, doing a lot of sessions, making money.
Good.
Love money.
It's essential.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. Trying to get ahead. But yeah, working on some new music with some cool artists.
One of the things I admire about you is that you took your passion for music and turned it into an actual tangible career. Like we just talked about, you're making money from it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something? When did you start to see that as your direction?
See, I couldn't tell you that.
Really? It just kind of happened to you?
I couldn't tell you that, but in high school, like I was making music,
right,
for myself. I had some buddies that wanted studio time, and I'd be engineering them, I'd be recording them, without even knowing what I was doing. I just thought I was getting paid for studio time. Like, I didn't know what it was, I didn't know what it meant, but doing all that stuff, I was still being creative. I was still getting to add my influence to the records, and it gave me just as much satisfaction as making my own music, which
really,
yeah,
awesome. So, very nice. Well, this has been Griffin Brown. Like the man said, be patient. There's more coming.
Patience.
So yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.